It's Friday when you hear that great instrumental in the background. What a way to start the day. What a way to get you going on this Friday. Welcome. Heartbeat continues in the midst of WIDU's Wake Up. We're your radio station of inspiration and information. We're WIDU 1600 AM, WIDU 99.7 FM. Also Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do me a great favor. Comment in the chat, like, share, and comment. And yep, the gents, they do, without a shadow of a doubt, they'll allow your calls. The earlier you call in, the better. 910-483-6111. We have a great show lined up for you today. We got the gents in the studios doing it only how they keep doing it the heartbeat way. We got one MIA. I hate I'm missing him today, my baby. Senior Pastor Ron Gabo. He's out on assignment, but he will be back. He gives his love. But we have the best of the crew of the Heartbeat Radio Talk Show. The Dapper Gents, my babies, Bishop J.L. Gabo. To know him is to love him. He is a jewel. He is family. We thank God for him. We have the sophisticated, cool, dapper one of the crew, the coach of the crew, Minister Tony Billingsley. Good morning, gents. Welcome. I hope you're well. We're ready for you. We're ready for Heartbeat Radio Talk Show, and I can say, I think I still got it. Take it away, gents. Good morning.
I got to do it with my Kurt Franklin. That girl bad. That girl bad. You got to dance like there's nobody watching, love like it never been heard, sing like there's nobody listening, and live like it's heaven on earth. Good morning, world. I'm Dr. J.L. Gabo.
And I'm Tony Billingsley.
Happy Women's Month and happy Spring 2026, all at the same time. And of course, this is Heartbeat Flight 2026 on Wake Up, where we still believe that the truth is the truth if no one believes it, and a lie is still a lie even if everyone believes it. It's a great day in the village of Lafayette. We got Tammy back on a Friday, and we're so grateful for that and her. Shout out to all of our friends in the social media world who are following us. I got to go through my list here. In Laurinburg, WEWO, WEWO, 1460 AM, 92.5 FM, and then in Lumberton, WAGR, 1340 AM and 97.1 FM. And our friends in the metropolitan area, Red Springs, North Carolina, WYDU 1160 AM and 98.5 FM. The flagship right here in the city of Fayetteville, North Carolina, WIDU 1600 AM and 99.7 FM. But we got a list of great stations. Happy birthday to those of you who are celebrating a birthday and those who are in the midst of something special going on in your life. We're certainly glad that you joined us today. And if you're celebrating an anniversary, the captain still has this song caught up in his throat, and he's trying his best to get it out. So we'll talk with you about that as well. Dr. Ron is going to be out today. He'll be back next week. However, we want to still remind you about Grief Share. Every Wednesday at our church, one church, is located currently at 918 Person Street in Fayetteville. We have Grief Share. If you're going through a grief time, certainly I recommend it that you will spend some time going to these classes. We do ask that you go to 3 in a row on Wednesday, starting at 10 a.m. Go 3 in a row, and then if you feel after that you don't need it, that's fine. But it takes about 3 classes for you to realize, hey, I like to be a part of that. And the number to call again is 910-323-8889, or you can go to your World Wide Web at www.griefshare.org, and it will ask for the nearest grief share in your area. And you'll find several around here, but I just feel like one church has the best one. So I'll just put a little plug in for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might add that also anyone who deals with people going through grief, as an example, it would be awesome for pastors and ministers to go through those sessions, because you can gain a great insight as to how to help people deal with grief, and it'll help you know what not to say in a lot of instances.
Very true. That's what I've learned. As a matter of fact, I'm in the session now, these 13 weeks, so I can act from this end. How does a pastor respond to members who have grief? Understanding what is a good thing to say and what is sometimes it's a good thing to do is just listen and not try to have all the answers. So we'll talk more about that later. At this time, we want to share with you 3 of our topics today. We're going to talk about sharing personal private health information across the board. Number 47 decided it's important to talk about other people's health, but not his. And we'll talk about that. Also got a unique story of a Utah woman who writes a book on grieving, only to find out she was the one who killed her husband. We'll talk about that as well. And finally, Tallahassee Hospital. We're talking in detail about Tallahassee Hospital is suing a patient that's and trying to evict him that won't leave. Been there for 5 months, okay? Along with that, we having a health tip, digital moment, and da-da-da, drum roll. We got Pastor Harvey Johnson coming on with Car Talk as well. So it's a lot of good things going to happen in the fastest hour of the day, 10, 11 a.m. on Fridays. Anyway, we'll do it. Coach, now I'm like this, man. If when you want to, if you really care about people, and this is number 47, sharing the personal private information of Congressman Neil Dunn, and I thought it was quite unique. Well, not for him. It's just almost like, okay, everything goes. Yeah. And I'm thinking about President Barack Obama, who couldn't wear a tan suit without the nation having a fit. Now we can go, anything is open for this. Thinking about the diagnosis of a Republican congressman named Neil Dunn, and you know the story here. He's retiring because he has some health issues, but it was not known exactly what it was. So now we're seeing that the president's sitting there with Mike Johnson and some of the other of his friends, and they looked kind of grim when he made that statement about the health condition of Senator Neil Dunn. A congressman.
Yeah. As I reviewed this story from different media outlets and listened and read what the president said, along with Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, it really appalled me. First of all, it borderlines the release of medical information regarding people's health. You know, HIPAA laws, those kind of things. And not only that, it also borders on the probability that it could affect when you release something like that, it could affect our national security, because he is a member of Congress.
Exactly.
And then for the president to be more concerned about losing a vote that would give them a House majority as opposed to the health of the individual, to me, that's very discerning.
Well, it's all the signs of a person who is, in his mindset, a narcissist in the whole concept of, I got to watch out for me. Also, we found out that Susan Wiles, one of the White House Chief of Staff, he was sitting there with them, and he was giving information about her condition with breast cancer and stages of it in a diagnosis. So we see that we know about other people's health issues, but we don't know about his.
And the thing is that Mr. Dunn had not released any information about his prognosis and his diagnosis, which they indicated it appeared that it was going to be terminal, and that he had his demise would come about sometime in June.
Yeah, I think the way he said it was, I'm trying to find exactly, he'd be dead by June. He would have been dead by June. That was a term that he used, the president used. And
I'm concerned about the death, but I'm also concerned about losing the vote.
Yeah, exactly. If we look at some of the things that I was looking at, the check and balances, just pulling information, what are the limitations of a president. And when you think about someone who's already been able to not be found not guilty of 34 felony charges, and you say, okay, there has to be a check and balance, which means that each branch of government has a balance: legislative, executive, and judicial. There's a balance. He's overrun that. There's an impeachment. Congress can remove a president from office for high crimes, misdemeanors, serving significant checks on the president's authority. He's overridden that. Judicial review. The courts can review a president's actions to ensure that they comply with the Constitution, preventing unilateral actions. He's overridden that. The legislative power. The president can propose legislation, but must work within Congress and can override. Then they can override with a veto. Well, we know he started a war without anybody, any kind of proof from Congress. So it's almost like declaring. This is the next one. While the president can issue executive orders, he cannot unilaterally declare war or make significant changes without congressional approval. Well, he didn't do that. So everything that should be a limit to his power that I'm reading that is constitutional, he's overridden every one of them.
It appears to me that this particular administration and the administrative leader seems to surround himself with so-called, they're supposed to be advisors, but they appear to be yes men and yes women. For him to sit in an interview with Mike Johnson and turn to Mike Johnson and say, well, go ahead and tell the story.
Yeah.
And he starts to tell about the condition of a member of Congress.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, where is your set at to say, hey, Mr. President, that information right now is private and confidential. We probably should discuss that in private or at a later time, because the congressman had not released any information about his illness being terminal.
Correct.
And neither had his family. That should have been their responsibility.
You bring up a good point about the national security. When information like that can get out from any source that should not have it. Yeah. And when you consider that and you've been in that area, you've dealt with security in the U.S. Air Force, and thank you for your service as well. How does that play into anything as far as information being used to deploy or cause problems in families or a nation?
That information, in my opinion, could be used politically as well as strategically, especially with the climate that we're living in, especially with things going on between us and China and Russia, to know that the number of Republicans versus the number of Democrats in our government could change the balance of what one individual or group of individuals is able to do. To me, that's a matter of security, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah. 24 minutes after the hour of 10, and of course we'd love to hear from you, your opinion, 910-483-6111. I'm looking at two different numbers here, our church number as well as there. Don't call the church. We won't be there. We're here. 910-483-6111. Coming up in 35 minutes or so, we're going to have MP1, MP2, MP3. But in the meantime, you hang in here with us as we will do what we can to enlighten you and share with you. Hey, let's kind of move away from before I do, there was a story I wanted to mention. I was watching when, of course, the 6 people who lost their lives in refueling on that aircraft, the refueling. And of course, it was devastating, first of all, for that to happen. And then the president was asked on the flight, I guess he was on Air Force One, but he was asked about what he was going to do about it, or his feelings on it. And he quickly went to next question. He would not even respond. I think that's one of the most unprecedented things a person in that office could do when people are trying their best to protect this country. And then you won't even acknowledge that they were dead.
That they lost their lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
It bothers me the way this administration handles the military and other facets of our lives. First of all, to go from the Department of Defense to the Department of War, to me, that's a declarative statement, meaning that we now are an aggressive nation as opposed to a nation that's just going to defend ourselves. You know, as an example, Israel's military is known as the Israeli Defense Forces. And for them not to acknowledge the loss of life in this conflict, they call conflict epic fury, which is really a war. We're sending young men and young women into harm's way. And when I was in the military, I always liked to feel I was going to obey the orders that were given me, but I always liked to feel and have in the back of my mind that what I was doing was for a just cause.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about what we're doing now.
Well, in the time that a person can get in office and in less than, I don't know, however long he's been in office, whether that's counting the first term or not, I don't know, profit $10 billion in his own coffer going forward, and we know at least that much money. Something is wrong with the system. And as I've heard several people who addressed it saying, this has caused us to back up and say, what do we need to do as far as laws or policies in place? Because we've never seen anything go that far to the left, if you will, against anything that has been written constitutionally or that's been set up legislatively for our country. So it's something to think about.
It is. You know, we should be concerned that people who should be advising him are not holding him accountable.
Yes, sir. We got a caller? Yep. We'll take that call. I got Tammy running like a one-legged man in a kicking contest, but she's on top of it. That's good. Good morning. This is Heartbeat.
Good morning. This is Sherry McNeil speaking. How are you?
Outstanding. Hope you are.
Okay, good. Let me see. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm calling. I'm so sorry to hear about Miss Sandra Cookman passing. And I was not able to attend because we had a funeral as well. But believe it or not, 3 o'clock this morning, I listened to the service. And Pastor Godbow talk about praying. Sir, you prayed. Now, I don't use a call and make statements like this over the telephone. But, sir, you prayed, and I certainly enjoyed it. I don't know how in the world those people could not contain themselves. I'm sure they could. But this is the first time I heard you pray. And I guess if we prayed like that, I know the Lord would be listening. If I heard it, I know God heard it. So I enjoyed the prayer. As a matter of fact, I enjoyed the service. But that prayer was something else. They really touched my heart. So you continue to pray for me, and I'll pray for you.
Sister Sharon, thank you so much. But I'll tell you, like I told somebody else, I'm glad the people here heard it, but I just want God to hear it. That was my, that was my concern. God, we need you. We need you. Really need you. And our nation, and as far as Christians are concerned, when we see these kinds of things happening around us, we need to not put on blinders or put our heads in the sand as an ostrich. We need to stand up and start speaking as John the Baptist did, speak truth to power, and continue to attack spiritually and vote naturally, and to call our congressmen and senators and our local government and be actively involved. There's no way you can be a true Christian and not deal with the kingdom of man as well as the kingdom of God.
Absolutely. And prayer is the key, as the writer of Holy Writ declared. If my people who are called by my name
preach it,
will humble themselves and pray,
I give you a little
seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, that he would then hear from heaven Forgive their sin and heal the land.
Okay, I'm going to give him a love offering. I got a cough drop right here. Here
I'll
it
take
is.
it.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. This is Heartbeat.
This is Bishop Johnny Ray Jr. of the Churches of Worship Worldwide, Apostle J.A. McDonough, 2118 Owen Drive. And we are proud to be a part of the Wake Up. Come and join the team.
I'm Attorney Alan Rogers of the Rogers Law Firm, and I stand on the strong moral principles of my parents, the late Bishop Zach Rogers Jr. and First Lady Mary Rogers. I've practiced law for over 30 years, serving this community and surrounding communities from Cumberland County, Scotland County, and throughout North Carolina. We have a proven track record of putting 12 in the box, trying our cases, and bringing home victories. We've settled as well as gotten verdicts of millions of dollars, and we'll do the same for you. So give us a call at 910-433-0833, the Rogers Firm. With a proven track record, let us deliver for you.
It's a pleasant start to spring with temperatures a bit warmer this afternoon, and we'll see increasing high clouds later today. Some brief showers are possible overnight, otherwise we'll see lots of sunshine for the weekend, and temperatures will continue to warm up. Clear this morning with temperatures in the low 40s, then more high clouds after midday. Highs reach the low to mid 70s. We'll drop to the low to mid 50s by Saturday morning, then highs Saturday will reach the upper 70s to around 80. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
Senator Tom Tillis on Thursday blasted talk of ending the Senate filibuster to pass a Save America Act as a foolish and lazy idea. President Trump told Israel to hold off on future strikes of Iranian gas facilities. Former Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, the Republican nominee for governor in 2024, is back in the news after appearing on a podcast addressing some of the controversies that derailed his campaign in 2024. A senior TSA official warns travelers that the backlog at security checkpoints across the country will get worse before it improves. North Carolina State Board of Elections took no action in a meeting on Wednesday, but the saga continues into the District 26 race between Senate President Pro Tem Phil Berger and Sheriff Sam Page of Rockingham County. Mike Rayleigh, NCI News.
It's a pleasant start to spring with temperatures a bit warmer this afternoon, and we'll see increasing high clouds later today. Some brief showers are possible overnight, otherwise we'll see lots of sunshine for the weekend, and temperatures will continue to warm up. Clear this morning with temperatures in the low 40s, then more high clouds after midday. Highs reach the low to mid 70s. We'll drop to the low to mid 50s by Saturday morning, then highs Saturday will reach the upper 70s to around 80. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
NCI News, I'm Mike Rayleigh. Senator Tom Tillis on Thursday blasted talk of ending the Senate filibuster to pass a Save America Act as a foolish and lazy idea. Senator Tillis said this about the bill.
I think the SAVE Act would be a great bill if we can get 60 votes in the Senate, because the world's changed. I mean, Biden allowed 8 million people to come across the border. That could be theoretically 8 million illegally present people who could vote in some states that are more liberal.
President Trump told Israel to hold off on future strikes of Iranian gas facilities. Meanwhile, CBS News senior White House correspondent WIDU Zhang says,
as the U.S. weighs how far it will go to decimate Iran's military and nuclear capabilities, President Trump said today he is not putting boots on the ground anywhere. But he added, quote, if I were, I certainly wouldn't tell you, but I'm not putting troops.
Former Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, the Republican nominee for governor in 2024, is back in the news after appearing on a podcast addressing some of the controversies that derailed his campaign in 2024.
I won't say that I completely lied. Some of the things about the whole story, some of it, there's some truth to it. There again, those were the things that I wanted to separate at that moment. I wanted to separate those things.
A senior official of the TSA warns travelers that the backlog at security checkpoints across the country will get worse before it improves. Carol Berkner, an Asheville travel advisor, tells WLOS.
We haven't had a customer that has had that experience yet, but it's definitely a possibility. The planes need to leave when they need to leave.
CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano says the West faces another day of intense heat.
97 expected in Las Vegas, 107 to get 31 above average Palm Springs, and into the 80s across parts of the northern tier as well. So that's today. Tomorrow, we begin to shift things a little bit farther to the east. Oklahoma City getting into it, Little Rock as well, and Kansas City at 91 degrees.
You're listening to NCNU.
You ever notice how most helpful information always seems to show up just a little too late? Like, oh, the deadline was yesterday. Or,
you know, you could have saved money if you'd done that earlier.
Timing matters. That's why Fayetteville PWC wants you to know the summertime of use schedule begins April 1st. With smart timing, you can lower your energy costs by running appliances like washers, dryers, and dishwashers outside of peak hours. And by adjusting your thermostat just a few degrees higher between 3 and 6 in the afternoon, you can save even more. It's a simple shift that helps reduce strain on the energy grid, supports a more sustainable future, and keeps power reliable for everyone in our community. Because at Fayetteville PWC, we're committed to being environmentally responsible, dependable, and deeply invested in the place we all call home. Timing matters, and smart timing means savings. Learn more at startsaving@faypwc.com.
If you enjoyed the first half, you certainly will enjoy the second half. Thank you for patiently waiting. We're back with part 2 of Wake Up with Heartbeat Radio Talk Show. One MIA missing in action. He's out on assignment. Senior Pastor Ron Godbolt, we miss you today, but he sends his best. He sends his love, and he reassures me to reassure you, the listening audience, he'll be back on next week. But we got the team, the family holding it down just the same. Bishop J.L. Godbolt, the coach of the crew, Minister Tony Billingsley, and is Car Talk. We have the doctor in the house. Yep, Dr. Harvey Johnson. He's with us as well. Gents, good morning. We're ready for you. We're ready for so much more with Heartbeat Radio Talk Show. Take it away.
Thank you, Tammy. Please add some more minutes to this 1 hour, please, because we got so much here to do. And I got to hear from my friend all the way from Melbourne, Florida, Dr. Harvey Johnson on Car Talk. And we got the Did You Know Health Tip and still 2 more things to talk about. So hold on to your hats, lock your seat down, stick and stay. I'm John Godbolt.
And I'm Tony Billingsley.
This is still Heartbeat Flight 2026. We're going to fly around, loop around the airport, and then we're going to take off again. Here we go. We got Dr. Harvey Johnson online. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Heartbeat.
Good morning. Glad to be back with you.
Yes, sir. We missed you. It wasn't your fault, but we missed you.
All right. Glad to be back. Missed you too.
Okay, what you got for us today, Doctor?
About diminished value of your car. Now, this is something that everyone has to deal with if you own an automobile. And I'm mainly speaking about minor accidents. Okay. It could be as much as 10 to 15% diminished value, even with perfect repairs. Now, this is something that we don't normally deal with. We try to keep from getting in an accident, but when we do, we're kind of like at the mercy of the insurance company and the repair facility. We don't know what's going on, generally speaking. A reported accident history makes a vehicle less desirable for the buyer. Mm-hmm. So that's why, people ask, has it been in an accident? Or, take it and have it checked to see if it's been in an accident, because it's worth less. Not that it's a bad automobile, but monetarily speaking. It could be anything from major frame damage or structural damage. That's 25 to 50% diminished. Wow. It could be repaired back like new, looks like brand new. But if it had frame or structural damage and has been repaired, it's 25 to 50% less in value. If you don't know that, you'll pay top dollar for a vehicle that you're going to lose in the end. Newer, high-value vehicles suffer a greater loss. it's a larger dollar amount. Dealer trade-ins. Dealerships may offer 20 to 30% less for cars with accident history. That's just, those are the statistics. To minimize impact or loss, if the accident was not your fault, consider filing a diminished value claim with your insurance company. Now, many people don't know about that.
Did we lose you, sir?
Hello?
Yeah, okay, you're still there. Go, come on.
Hello?
Can you?
Okay, what did I?
Diminished value claim with the insurance company.
Yes, sir. You can, if you accident is not your fault, consider filing a diminished value claim. Now, this is something that you pay for, and you can claim it. Insurance companies use what's called a 17C formula when calculating potential loss. Now, in brief, what that means is the maximum base loss of 10% of vehicle value. So if you have a $100,000 vehicle, that's potentially $10,000 you'll lose. Okay. Then beyond that, they apply a minor damage multiplier to that. So they will assess and see just how much damage it is, and they'll pay you cash, for the damage to your vehicle, because they know you will lose when you trade it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Was that given that number again? That was a 17C.
17C formula.
Formula. Okay.
It's the formula they use. And it gives them a sliding scale of 10% loss. Now, they can give you the whole 10% if the vehicle is really damaged, a lot, or they can give you a portion of that 10%, and that's 0.25% of whatever they decide. So again, you're kind of at their mercy, but at least you get something.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, go ahead.
I wanted to back up to something that, as I'm looking at Tammy, who's got to get a car pretty soon, because hers was the transmission went out, and I'm doing like the president. I'm putting a business in the street, but she's gonna have to get another car. But what would you advise Tammy to make sure that she is not getting a car that has been damaged? What things could she do to find out if that frame had been bent or something?
Okay, that was my next point. Have that vehicle thoroughly checked by an independent person, somebody who they're professional, they know what they're looking for, a body shop. You take it to a reputable body shop and have them put it up and look underneath. They know where to look. They know where to look for prior damage.
Okay.
They look for missing repaint, missing parts, misaligned parts. That's just to name a few. But underneath the car is where they usually get away, because people don't look under there. They look at how good it looks on the outside, the fenders, the hood, and it might have new grille and headlights, and that's like a face made up. It looks good. So you think, oh, this is
You should have said that. However, I'm thinking about it. Never mind. Go ahead,
Dr. Johnson.
Okay.
How
Yes,
reliable are these like Carfax reports or Carfox reports that many of the dealers offer? Say, well, this is a Carfax report on this vehicle. How reliable are they?
Carfax is a as reliable as you can get. Whichever one, there are different ones. I think Experian is one, and Carfax. Anyway, they're good. That's all we have to use. But the thing with that is, if the accident was not reported, it's not in the system. It's not.
Okay.
Because the dealership, not our dealership, but I'll say the repair facility is supposed to log it in. When they get that vehicle in, they put in the VIN number, and when they make the repairs, they should state where it was hit, the extent of the damage, what was replaced. But if it did not go to one of those facilities, or someone was a little negligent about that, you can potentially buy a vehicle that was almost totaled, and they repaired it. You do the Carfax, it doesn't show up, so you don't look any further.
Okay.
I had a coworker that had a BMW 5 Series, got T-boned. I mean, bad. It wasn't bad enough to total the vehicle. It took months to fix it. After she got it back, checked the Carfax, it did not appear.
Okay.
So, and that happens more often than not.
So I'm going to recommend that then when Tammy get ready to get her a car, I have a friend that I trust with my cars when we need a little work done to it. So she can tell her, you're going to test drive the car. But before you do, we're going to set up an appointment for him to take it by his place to look at it under. So if there's something wrong with it, you'll know it, even though we did the Carfax thing. I think that's a smart way to look at it. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
That's what I highly recommend that.
Okay.
And you want to check other things like mismatched tires, brake pad thickness. It doesn't make sense to buy a vehicle. You pay top dollar for it. And then as soon as you get it, a shop tells you, well, you're going to need brakes in about a month. That's an expensive undertaking.
Yeah.
You see. Or your tires doesn't match. You need tires, or tires are old. So tires and brakes, that could be $2,000 right there on top of what you just spent.
Oh, yes. No doubt. Man, this is great. Go ahead. If you had another point, I don't want to cut you off.
One more thing. One more point is leaks. Leaks are very expensive to take care of nowadays. It's very expensive. Something you think would take just $50 to repair. When they do the estimate, they'll tell you, well, we have to drop the frame to get to that. And that, labor charge is 7, 8, 10 hours of labor to replace a $10 gasket. So you live with the leak. So you bought a leaking car. You didn't realize it because they cleaned it before they sold it to you. And now you have drips on your driveway, and every time you park, you leave a signature. So you don't want to do that.
Wow.
And above all, before you make a purchase, do your homework. Go online and find out that make and model, what normally goes wrong with that vehicle. And not brand new, and it could be brand new if they've made that model for a few years. Find out what happens with that vehicle. Like in the past few years, certain vehicles had transmission issues, and it was well known. But the dealer will still sell it to you if you wanted to buy it. And many of them were pretty. They were pretty vehicles, like some certain years of Nissan, Infiniti, those CVT transmissions. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you own one, drive it easy. Don't drive it like you did your 1980, because it's not as strong.
Gotcha.
They can't handle the torque, so you'll grind it to pieces, and you wonder, well, what happened?
Yeah. Don't take it up in the mountains for a trip.
No, sir. No, sir. And that's just one of them. There were others that had that transmission. One reason why you can buy Maximas and Altimas certain years real cheap, because they can't sell them to people who've done their homework.
Correct.
Many used car dealers won't buy them. They stay at the auction. They won't buy them.
It's amazing. So I should certainly appreciate this. It's good information. So we're going to make sure that the leaks are something we'll be paying attention to, as well as the grill that looks good, like a made-up face. I'll never forget that one. Thank you so much, Dr. Johnson. We appreciate you, man.
You're welcome.
We'll talk with you next month. All goes well. Thank you. That was Dr. Harvey Johnson from all the way from Melbourne, Florida, sharing with us again on Car Talk. Always amazing information we can get.
Absolutely.
Listen, we got to go do a Did You Know health tip and several other things to talk about. So what you got, Coach?
Did you know that Katherine Johnson, who was highlighted in the movie Hidden Figures, helped put the first man on the moon using calculations from a slide rule, pencil and paper, and a hand calculator?
I'm telling you, every time I'm watching some of those things again, revisiting that movie, it blows my mind how that here we are working for the same goal, and people were so prejudiced that didn't want to give her information, and she could still take a slide rule, a pencil and paper, and come up with the right calculations to get him to not only get out of the orbit, but back in. Re-entry was the real issue.
What's the real issue?
Yeah, and he's got to hit a certain place at a certain time, and she did it by hand.
An African-American woman.
And this is March, Women's Month. Hats off to her as well. Did you know, this is just a lot of fun here, if you have a dog and a cat, your dog can only make 10 different kinds of sounds. The dog can make 10 different kinds of sounds, but your cat can make over 100 different vocal sounds. So if you don't want to hear different kinds of whinings and sounds, you better get your dog, because he can do all about 10.
A cat. 100 more.
Over 100. Different vocal sounds.
Vocal sounds.
From a cat.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to give you a health tip, so in case you're wondering how we stay so fired up here, I'm going to teach you how to improve your memory and incorporate some of these foods in your diet. Fatty fish, omega-3 fatty acids are essential for brain health. Blueberries. Okay, make sure you get them. It helps your brain. Leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, those are good for you, remembering and putting things on your list. Nuts, especially walnuts, are good for brain functioning. And dark chocolate. Now listen, save from all the sugar. You don't want to eat a lot of dark chocolate anyway, but the real dark chocolate is not that special sweet. But it has antioxidants in it. It has a type of caffeine that will boost your memories and your mood. Okay, so that helps you get fired up a little bit.
Good. Now I'm on the right track then.
Okay.
I'm eating the blueberries and the kale.
Okay.
And spinach. I got to get on the fatty fish though. Cause I like them spots and them crocus.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Fasting is the ability of the body to restart its natural functions and healing process. It can boost any other therapies to make a well-oiled machine by resetting your immune system. Common times for fasting that will help you in as little as 12 to 72 hours of fasting.
Isn't that something?
It will help reset your body.
It's amazing. I love it. Get an opportunity to just organize your body. You feel better when you get to that point where you can get away from a lot of those things. But I like to drink lots of water while I'm fasting. So that as my age, and I won't give the numbers yet, but it's coming up.
It's coming up.
on a historic number. But you reached that historic number
before,
a couple of months
before you.
Before me, yeah. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Okay, a woman who self-published a book about coping with grief after her husband's death was convicted of killing her husband. So Corey Richens, as her name, she was a Utah real estate agent, and she self-published a children's book about coping with death. Well, it was an aggravated murder. The bottom line is that she was slipping a legal a lethal dose, lethal dose of fentanyl into the cocktail for her husband. She did it. How many times was it? I think about 5 times.
About five times before he eventually succumbed. And not only was she using fentanyl, it was not medical grade fentanyl.
Right.
It was the street variety.
Stuff. Yeah.
Which is probably 10 times more lethal.
Yeah, that stuff is crazy. Now he was he was 35 years old, and he stared at the floor. Or she did. She stared at the floor when she got the call of being guilty and all the charges attached to it. But the story is that she was in about $4.5 million worth of debt herself.
Yeah.
And was trying to get the insurance up to a level, and she was adding into it the insurance.
And that was
policy.
a red flag not only for the police but for the insurance companies because she had taken out so many different. I think she had taken out a total of 5 policies that totaled up to about 1.5 or 1.9 million. Total. And so that was a red flag. Thank God for the investigators who started to look into some things and found out that she had actually been poisoning her husband over a period of time, and then she finally gave him a lethal cocktail before putting him to bed.
Yeah, she used this. He was already addicted to painkillers. Yes. I found out too. So he asked his wife to procure some opioid for him and help him with that pain situation. But she used that. Come to find out that she had was having an affair on the side.
On the side.
Yeah, trying to get rid of him and get the money to continue her love affair with this other guy. But at the same time, she said she wrote the book for her son, their son, who was grieving. But she also anonymously sent the copy of the book to the police department to try to convince them that someone has sent it. And this was a good woman to try to make sure that her son is not suffering. Yeah. But she did it herself, trying to make somebody else think that she was
and in an interview she claimed that it was therapeutic for her to write the book for herself and for her children.
Well, I'm telling you,
what a world we live in.
Yeah, it's sad. We got some other sad stories like that, but we don't have time to talk about them. But I got to tell you this right quick. There was a hospital down there near you, Dr. Johnson, but it's actually Tallahassee, Florida. The Tallahassee Memorial Health Care Facility has put out a law evicting a person who'd been in the hospital since October of last year. 5 months they've been discharged, but they won't leave the hospital. They wouldn't give the name of the person.
Wouldn't give the name or the ethnic identity of the individual.
We just know it's a woman.
We just know it's a woman.
Yeah.
And will not leave the hospital. So the hospital brought a lawsuit to have her discharged. She was in there from October the 6th until now.
Yeah, last I heard she's still there. We don't know what's happening the last couple of days. Yeah. But they cut off the phone. I'm trying to think, what kind of life is so bad that being in a hospital is the best place for you? What's going on in her life? And we do know there's somebody in her family has been contacted. Yeah. But since we don't know the name of the person, they won't give the name of the family.
Especially if your medical condition has already been alleviated.
Correct.
It's time for you to go.
Yeah, and by the way, I did find out that what reason the hospital is having a hard time getting rid of her is that there isn't a Federal Emergency Medical Treatment Labor Act that when a hospital receives Medicare funds, they have to make sure the patient is truly well before they can dismiss them. And guess what? Cape Fear Valley is one of those hospitals on their system.
Any hospital that receives funds from Medicare, they have a responsibility. Yep. If you walk into the emergency room, they must treat you.
You better play that music because we got to get out of here. Time is coming.
Remember.
We got to keep that in mind. And keep in mind, remember, the only thing that evil needs to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Bye-bye.
Oh, boy.